Hurricane Florence, warnings of catastrophic flash flooding. Weather forecasters warn of the risk of life-threatening flash flooding in parts of North and South Carolina, and Virginia, from Storm Florence. It has been downgraded from a hurricane to a tropical storm but continues to soak the East Coast area with rain, downing trees and damaging homes. It is slowly grinding over the eastern states, with winds of 65 miles per hour, 105 kilometers per hour. 5 deaths have been linked to the storm and thousands of people have been staying in emergency shelters. Evacuation warnings were issued for 1.7 million people in the region. All 5 deaths linked to the storm are in North Carolina. What is the latest on the storm? The storm originally made landfall at Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina, on Friday morning as a Category 1 hurricane. Catastrophic freshwater flooding is expected in parts of both the Carolinas, the National Hurricane Center said late on Friday local time. Some parts of North Carolina have already seen surges as high as 10 feet in places. North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper said the hurricane was likely to continue its violent grind for days and described the severity of the downfalls as a 1,000-year event. Florence is expected to dump 18 trillion gallons of rainwater on U.S. soil, meteorologist Ryan Maui tweeted. Almost 800,000 people are reported to be without power already in North Carolina, and officials have warned restoring electricity could take days or even weeks. How are residents coping? More than 20,000 residents have packed into North Carolina emergency shelters, and officials have told those still in the storm's path to stay in place. In Jacksonville, North Carolina, officials had rescued more than 60 people overnight on Thursday from a hotel that was collapsing in the storm. Parts of New Bern, North Carolina, which is home to 30,000 people, were 10 feet underwater on Friday after local rivers flooded their banks. Scores of residents in the riverfront city were plucked to safety, local reports say. Ask a question. Share this chatbot. The Cajun Navy, a volunteer rescue group, were among those traveling by boat around the town to help people who were trapped. Officials have warned residents against entering attics, so as to avoid drowning, unless they have a means to cut through to the roof. The White House said on Friday that President Donald Trump would travel to the region next week unless his trip would disrupt cleanup and rescue efforts. Hurricanes. A guide to the world's deadliest storms. Hurricanes are violent storms that can bring devastation to coastal areas, threatening lives, homes and businesses. Hurricanes develop from thunderstorms, fueled by warm, moist air as they cross subtropical waters. Warm air rises into the storm. Air swirls in to fill the low pressure in the storm, sucking air in and upwards, reinforcing the low pressure. The storm rotates due to the spin of the Earth, and energy from the warm ocean increases wind speeds as it builds. When winds reach 119 km per hour, 74 miles per hour, it is known as a hurricane in the Atlantic and Eastern Pacific, or a typhoon in the Western Pacific. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. Well, we're about to get punched in the face. Florida Mayor Bob Buckhorn, ahead of Hurricane Irma, 2017. The central eye of calmer weather is surrounded by a wall of rainstorms. This eye wall has the fastest winds below it and violent currents of air rising through it. A mound of water piles up below the eye, which is unleashed as the storm reaches land. These storm surges can cause more damage from flooding than the winds. Urgent warning about the rapid rise of water on the SWFL coast with the passage of Irma's eye. Move away from the water. Tweet from the National Hurricane Center. The size of hurricanes is mainly measured by the Saffir-Simpson scale. Other scales are used in Asia-Pacific and Australia. Winds 119 to 153 km/h. Some minor flooding, little structural damage. Storm surge plus 1.2 meters to 1.5 meters, Winds 154 to 177 km/h. Roofs and trees could be damaged. Storm surge plus 1.8 meters to 2.4 meters. Winds 178 to 208 km/h. Houses suffer damage. Severe flooding. Storm surge plus 2.7 meters to 3.7 meters. Hurricane Sandy, 2012, caused $71 billion damage in the Caribbean and New York. Winds 209 to 251 km/h. Some roofs destroyed and major structural damage to houses. Storm surge plus 4 meters to 5.5 meters. Hurricane Ike, 2008, hit Caribbean islands and Louisiana and was blamed for at least 195 deaths. Winds 252 km/h plus serious damage to buildings, severe flooding further inland. Storm surge plus 5.5 meters. Hurricane Irma, 2017, caused devastation in Caribbean islands, leaving thousands homeless. For everyone thinking they can ride this storm out, I have news for you, that will be one of the biggest mistakes you can make in your life. Mayor of New Orleans Ray Nagin ahead of Hurricane Gustav, 2008. Click arrow to proceed. Loading. Swipe to progress. Go back to start. Are you in the area? How are you preparing for the hurricane? If it is safe to do so, please tell us about your situation by emailing javiersay@bbc.co.uk. Please include a contact number if you are willing to speak to a BBC journalist. You can also contact us in the following ways.